Hey everybody, welcome. Good afternoon. I was just checking to make sure everybody can hear me because for some reason the music is not playing and I don't know enough about that to know why it's not playing, but I'm just going to leave it right now. As long as you can hear me, then I think we're going to be good. Minnie? Yeah. You going to come up here and see me? Hmm? Come on. Maybe not. I asked her to come up here, so that means she probably won't. Ooh, there it is. It's like, where did my scraper go? That is not my good scraper. Hey, Minnie. It's been a nervous couple of days for Minnie. There's been a lot of people in the studio that she did not know. Oh, we get some biscuits. Where's my good scraper? When I mean good scraper, like this one is flimsy, and I need something that I use my scraper to pry up the tile, and the flimsy scraper won't do that. What would I have used it for? Oh, it's over here. I don't know why it was over there, but we got it back now. Let me get my mat back under me. It moves every once in a while. I stand on. Hey, crazy cat lady. I just say mini as in small, like the first option. But that's just me. Her official name is Minerva, so it really doesn't matter. However you want to spell it, it'll get the point across. So she's been in the ceiling most of the day because we've had people in here working. Like yesterday was a terrifying day. We had I was firing a bisque kiln. Oh, you have a puppy named Minnie. Yeah. Well, that way you can tell the difference. Cobalt Reefer, thank you for the resub. Thank you for the 19 months. And good afternoon. So there was a good reason why we were not streaming yesterday, because at about like 1 o'clock or 1:30, I was running the bisque kiln, and it had been running for like 2 hours already. I had gone to lunch and came back and checked on it. It was fine. And then we started smelling smoke. Or not really smoke, but just like an electrical smell. And I'm like, oh, maybe a relay burned out, because that happens from time to time. Something burned up. I walk back there, and the electrical box is smoking. And so, like, breakers off. I turned off the power to the building. I turned everything off. And here, there's this like smoke billowing out of my like control box for the because I have a switch for my kilns, so that it wasn't the breaker box, it was the control box for the kilns. And so I'm freaking out. Standing back there with my fire extinguisher, hoping that I didn't have to spray anything, but just being prepared. It finally calmed down. Still smells like smoke in here. But, called my electrician. Freaked out and panicked over the phone. So I learned that a switch does have a life on it. It does not just work forever. I've had this one for 15 years. So 15 years of pretty constant use. It somehow the connections to one of them just got hot burned up. It yeah, so I got to think about all night long and be terrified by the amount of times that I've fired the kiln overnight and just left it. And had visions of burning the place down in my head. But oh my gosh, I was like, we were so lucky that we were here and that we caught it, and yeah, it was and it may not have caught fire, it may have just smoked and burned a little bit of itself up and been okay, but still, it was terrifying, and so here I am sitting in the dark for like an hour because it took them a while to get here, and trying to do what I can in the dark, and not freak myself out. Um, but the electricians got here, they like isolated everything, made sure they knew exactly what the problem was, and they actually like brought back and replaced the box today. So it's going again. So we're good. And I've got the kiln going. I'm going to probably check on it about every hour just to make sure that everything's okay. And so I actually like they fix it a lot quicker than I thought they would because I didn't know how common those pieces and parts were, but they found one from somewhere and they got it to me. I didn't ask what they were going to charge. I'll pay whatever. But things are working again. Okay. That is a good height. So I'm making travel mugs today, or at least about 10 of them is what I have to make. So that was the drama for this week. Biggie said you'd be a hot mess for days if something like that happened to you. Well, they got here, they isolated it, they did not like panic and say, "Oh, you caught this, man! This place could have caught on." They didn't like make a huge deal out of it. They're like, "Oh, yep, that's just it. It just burned out," and they replaced it and went on about their business. So that was the drama for this week. Like last week was when I had one of our displays fall on me, and I also got extremely lucky because like I finally because I'm still sore, so I finally went to the doctor this week and just today, and had them look at it just to make sure that there's not like a hairline fracture somewhere where I really hurt myself. I was pretty sure by the way I'm moving that it's just really bad bruising, but based on everyone else's urging, I went to the doctor. I'm one of those people. Well, I can't say that. Like, I don't really have a fear of going to the doctor. I just knew that I didn't think anything was broken, but just to make sure, I went. And it's just really, really bad bruising. But that's one of the situations where they were like, "Whoa, whoa, how are you walking?" I'm like, "Nothing doesn't hurt. I mean, if you poke it, it hurts. I can move. It just looks really bad. Like when the doctor wants to take pictures of your bruises, you know it's bad. Like you know it's impressive." All right, so this being the very first travel mug, I'm going to measure it again, and then I'm going to set my guide. So we've had a couple of different safety incidents around here, and I'm like almost paranoid now. Like I don't want to like I'm super careful. I don't want to trip and fall. I don't want anything. I'm like double checking every electrical thing in here. I don't want anything else to happen. Guide. That's what I was doing. Guide. It's not what I wanted. There it is. Okay. There we go. Biggie, you ignored doctor advice for years because you just got on with life. Yeah, and now you're paying the price. And that's kind of like when it happened, and like the day after, I was sore, but I can walk, I can move. I'm not like I know what something really bad feels like, and I'm like, it's not that bad. I think it's just surface, but I was second guessing myself, and I wanted to make sure I wasn't doing any damage. So, um, but it did make me laugh when my doctor was like, "Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna take a picture of this. Yeah, yeah, it's I want to show this to the other doctor." Like, okay. Which it was not that odd to me because I had and I mean, maybe I'm just weird. I took a picture of all the bruises myself because I've learned to kind of document things like that. I've had bad work related incidents before and kind of wished I had taken pictures in the beginning. Plus, they're very impressive bruises. I don't know, that stuff doesn't gross me out. I'm like, somebody has an injury or something. I'm like, ooh, let me see it. Very true, Arm. Sometimes it's important to say to yourself, just because I can do it doesn't mean I should. Yes. Or just because I can do this right now doesn't mean that I'm going to feel good enough to do it tomorrow. Maybe I should pace myself out. That's what I get in trouble doing that. Like I am the type of person, like I don't like laying in bed being sick like drives me crazy. Like I go stir crazy, so I need something to occupy my mind. So sometimes I'm like, I can go work on pottery because I'm not moving all that much. At least I can do that to distract myself from the way I feel. And sometimes it works okay, and sometimes I do myself more harm than good. Whoa, Biggie, after your accident, you were in a coma for 3 weeks, and your mom took loads of photos of your bruises and cuts because she was fascinated by the healing. Yeah. That's awful short. Is that right? Yep, it needs to be taller than that. Here we go. Arm, yeah, our bodies are incredible, a delicate balance of many systems working in tandem, but one issue can have a domino effect, yes. And the spine, the back is not really designed all that well. It doesn't always last that long, does it? But still, it's amazing that everything works as well as it does. Surprised Minnie's back here. Her and Kiba have been fighting over a box of bubble wrap. We opened up a second box of bubble wrap so they could like have their own, but they still keep fighting over the same one. So your mom has a folder of your accident. You made the local and national news with the traffic delays. Woo! Oh no, a pedestrian hit by a car. Then you are lucky to be with us still. Shoo. So I bet those were some epic bruises. That was 27 years ago. Wow. What kind of car hit you? Slow this down just a tiny bit. I don't know how that happened, but my phone was like, thought I was dictating to it, and so it was about to like text all of that to my mother. So it was a little car then, not a big car. Yeah, you can make jokes about it now, yeah. You got in the car the wrong way through the windscreen. Yeah, I was making trying to make jokes last week, and I'll be able to make much more jokes once I'm not sore. But I was saying because what fell on me is like one of our display cases full of pottery that we were unloading off the van. It fell on me, and so I said that the pottery attacked me. Or my favorite one was that the road cases, the shelf, it must have been a mimic because it tried to kill me. Did I measure this? I don't think I measured it. It's good. It's good. Doesn't matter if I measured it or not. Oof. Kira, good afternoon. Kira, I think your mug might be in the kiln, the bisque kiln right now. I don't think I sent one yet, but you could also, the 10-ounce mugs, Daniel did put custom listings now on the website. So if you go to the website, one of the top tabs says custom, and you can go officially order it if you want. But I've got it made up. But also if you just want to send me I can send you an invoice. But I have not sent one yet. Okay, yeah, I'll make sure. Yeah, we're the website is coming together finally. It's he got the custom listings back on, and we've even got some stock on the website. So if you go to the website, there's a little tab that says in stock, and it actually works. It tells you what's in stock. It's we've got to make it a bit easier to navigate. Like you can see if it says, what categories, but if it's a mug, like all the mugs are in one category. So we've got to like make up different categories for like knitting and crocheting and Doctor Who and Harry Potter and all that. So but we're getting there. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Oh no, Arm. Every time you get ready for a con, your parents tease you when you're doing the laundry because one time before a con, you nearly flooded the basement. No. What does that have to do with going to a con? Was it like the cosplays that caused the flood? Oh, 'cause you don't know where the water came from. Oh. See if we can get this any taller. Okay. Have to focus on these a little bit more. Whoa! What is all this? MW Mudworks, hey, thank you for the raid! Sorry, I was concentrating. I've got a slightly wobbly thing here. This is hopefully going to be a travel mug. Alexander, thank you for the follow. Hey, Mudworks, what were you doing today? How are you? Sculpting a hedgehog. Oh, that sounds adorable. Well, I've got, what, maybe 4 more of these travel mugs to do, and then I'll switch to a different type of mug, but I'm trying to get a few of these guys out of the way. Because y'all keep ordering them, so I keep having to make them. Yes, it is. They're just not my favorite thing to make, so I have to kind of talk myself into them. I'm doing some, like 10 of these as I get started, so I don't put them off. Yeah, Minnie went on an adventure yesterday. She stayed outside all night because I couldn't find her, and I thought she was inside because she has an air tag, and her air tag said that she was in the building, but I think she was on the roof because it was nice yesterday, and I think she was on the roof and playing and didn't want to come in because she does that. She will ignore me, and not even the treat box brought her in. So the air tags are not foolproof. Gonna see if I can make this taller. Right, turn down treats, yeah, and I don't know what she was doing. See if I can make this just a little bit taller. I might not, it might not last. That top part certainly doesn't want to condense. There is only so many times you can kind of rework the clay before it just gets too much water in it and falls apart. Okay, that's good. I'm not going to try to trim that. I'm just going to sand it down when it's drier. Sand it down even. So yeah, Minnie spends a lot of time on the roof, especially in the summer. She is a climbing cat. You got snow today? Is it cold now? It's cooling down. Like tomorrow's gonna be cold. Today it's been really windy and the cold front's coming through. Professor, thank you for the follow. Yeah, here. Okay, yeah, we're in the 80s today, and tomorrow, mid 50s. Probably one of those days where like we're never gonna get out of the low of the day before. Where is my cutter thingy? Mm. Wait, there it is. I had a brief flash of memory of dropping it. Let's make it a little bit narrower and it'll be good. Maybe two more. yeah, you've already had slushy snow. It's going to be between 25 and 40 for the days coming up there, yeah. Tis the season. I'm just thankful for the warmth we have. Though it really, like, it's killing everybody's sinuses. The grocery stores are out of all the sinus medications. Come on. Oh, Wolfie Hound, good. Hey, Dan. Hey, Spook. You missed us. Yes, it's been a very busy month. Hopefully, we'll get back into a regular routine. I don't know about this one. It's a little bit wobbly. So, Dan, you asked how I was. I have actually been better. One of the reasons I haven't streamed as much since we got back is because when we were unloading last week after getting back from the show, one of the displays fell on me. And so I am black and blue from the waist down, but luckily nothing is broken. I've had it verified by a doctor. I am just, it's going to take a while for all my bruises and swelling to go down. So, it's like, it's impressive when the doctor wants to take pictures of all your bruises. Yeah, no, I got really lucky. I got lucky that nothing worse happened, that it kind of, everything was spread out and not everything landed in one spot. If it all had landed, like, on one part, like, I could have broken a leg. But no, I got very lucky. See, is this going to give us enough height? It is. Good. Yes, I got hurt. I am black and blue from the waist down. But I knew I wasn't hurt, like, bad as in anything broken, because I could still move everything and I'm able to walk and move and everything. I'm just colorful. Pottery can be dangerous. I know, it's like I said, it was one of our road cases where we store and travel everything with, and so I've been saying that it must have been a mimic because it tried to kill me. The pots are fighting back. And then yesterday, I did not stream because at about like 1 or 1:30, like I'd started the kiln yesterday morning for a bisque, and like I had checked on it a couple of times and it was running fine, and then at like 1 or 1:30 we started smelling something and come back here and the control box on the wall that powers the kiln like was smoking. And so, of course, I freaked out and turned like I turned everything off. I turned all the breaker. I turned like the entire power to the building off, and just sat there with my fire extinguisher while it smoked. And I waited for the electrician to come to tell me what to do. I was freaking out. So yes, pottery can be dangerous in more ways than one. I'm like, I've swapped out almost every single part on my kiln. I know how to do things like that, but this was like the power coming into the building, coming into the kilns. I was like, but the electricians came and they have replaced the entire box and tested and made sure everything was working properly. And luckily, they were able to find things to replace it with. And instead of like going to the doctor, they were like, "Oh, look at that! How are you walking?" They were like, "Oh, yep, it just burned up. Here, let's fix it." So it made me feel like it wasn't so scary of a thing, even though it was. Right? So now I'm like trying to be super careful. I'm like, if I stumble, I don't want to trip. Like I'm just trying not to even like do anything that would cause myself to like stumble, or checking and double checking every safety precaution I have. But we're all okay. It's just been a bit stressful. But the switches that I used, it was a switch, like so the breaker box goes, the power from there goes into the switch, and my kilns I can only run one at a time. So it's a switch that controls, like it puts the power to one kiln versus, if it's down it goes to the power to the other kiln. And apparently they do have a life on them, and the life of this one was about 15 years, because this is maybe more like 13 or so, but still quite a long time, quite a long time. Alright, let's measure this one. I think this is the last of the travel mugs. Yep. So I got those out of the way. I've got one yarn bowl to make. So I will make it. Wait, what am I making? What am I making? I'm making a yarn bowl, not a mug. Doesn't need to be that tall. Yes. Oh, that's good. Now all you can think about is the sharks from Finding Nemo, but instead of fish are friends, not food, you imagine them saying, displays are stands, not you. Yeah. You can put that on a mug or a bowl, yep. Maybe one for myself. So, Dan, I just saw your comment up there, but did any of the pots break? They didn't. I broke their fall. Nope, no pottery was broken. And neither was I, it was all good. No, none of the pots broke. Because I broke their fall. All right, now let's measure this one and see if I got it right. It's a little bit on the tall side, so let's make it a bit shorter. All right, let's try that one. Much better, much better. Okay. I'm moving this. I'm gonna go check the kiln because I said I was gonna check it once an hour and I haven't. It's been almost 2 hours. Let me go look at it. All right, we're back. Boston Rocket, thank you for the follow. Whoops, stay with me. It's wibbly wobbly. There we go. Oops. Crazy Girl Emmy, hello. Good afternoon. Let me see. I'm getting a phone call. Let's see. Be right back. All right. We are back. So Emmy, what have you been up to? Tell me about some of the things you've been cooking or baking. Last night you made peanut butter banana chocolate chip cookie skulls in your skull-shaped pan. Ooh, I've never made like banana things like in cookies. It's always like muffin bread type things. They're more like muffins than cookies, but perfect fluffy texture. Nice. The last cookies I made were oatmeal raisin cookies for Daniel's birthday, 'cause that's his favorite. And I actually like remembered to make the dough and put it in the freezer. I put it in the freezer instead of the refrigerator for a little bit to chill it so that they wouldn't like spread out and be like flat and crispy. And they were probably some of the best oatmeal cookies I've ever made. They were really, really good. At work yesterday, you helped workshop some ham and cheese danishes. Ooh. October was National Pizza Month, so you were running a pan pizza special. Yeah. What is today? Senior Cat Day, something like that. Sometime this week was like National Senior Cat Day, so should have brought Kiba back here. Gotta go rescue my mug from Minnie. I see what you're doing. Minnie likes to lick the mugs. She claims it's quality control. Whoa, you made the crust by hand and then par baked and sent to the venue to finish. It was selling so well that they actually couldn't keep up and had to pull down the signage. Whoa. You were using garlic infused clarified butter and garlic infused olive oil. That sounds delicious, but a long process, yeah. I got some of the garlic infused olive oil. So where we have our retail shop in the building, there's a lot of shops around there, and one of the shops is a olive oil place, and so they have all kinds of different flavors. Um, I'm pretty sure they have vinegars too. I just don't know the variety. I don't know their full stock. You had the garlic oil. It came from the garlic confit that you use in your garlic parmesan sourdough. Hey, Crispy. You had this really awesome coffee balsamic from a place back in Tampa. Yeah. You love going to those oil shops. You could drink some of those vinegars like wine. It is. The Kiba bid cup is missing. Um, that is because we are multi-streaming. We are not just on Twitch. We are on Facebook and Kick and YouTube. Because that's one thing that came out of TwitchCon is that Twitch is no longer restricting anybody's streaming rights. We can stream anywhere we want. Partners are not restricted to only streaming on Twitch. Yeah, thank you, Spook. Like it can't hurt, right? So, what do the pieces of clay I'm throwing away? So, this is 1 pound and 2 ounces of clay I'm working with. The mugs are going to end up holding 20 ounces. And I'm trying to use almost every bit of the clay that I'm throwing with. Like the 1 pound, 2 ounces, I know I'm going to lose about 2 ounces of clay, and there's the trimming and the little bits that I lose. So, the rest of the pot is going to have still that 1 pound. And so once the form is made, I don't trim it. I don't trim anything off, except for what is, trimmed off on the wheel a little bit. Spook, you've been thinking of doing your makeup streams on YouTube, but yeah, but you don't have the room to set up makeup right now. Yeah, I'm sure it takes up a lot of room. What cone level are these fired to? Cone 6. So 2232 degrees Fahrenheit, mid-fire. And I fire in electric kilns. I've got one going right now. Microwave safe? Yes. Yes. Yeah, you use your mug from everything from tea to ice cream to ramen. Yes, they are versatile. Let me see if I can do that one a little bit different. It's like a lot wider than it looks on camera. Wonder if my camera's a little bit stretched out. Camera view. There we go. And it looks better. Lumi Celine, hey, thank you for the raid. Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon. Happy Thursday. Happy Friday Eve. You've come to raid our stash. Well, I don't have any yarn, but I do have yarn bowls that you can put your yarn in, so we can compromise, I think. But Celine, how are you? What were you working on today? Getting ready for the holiday season? Yes. We're actually trying to decide how to decorate at the shop down in Nashville. And Watery Christina, thank you for the raid. Celine, you were playing a Nancy Drew game. Ooh. Don't use... Oh, come on. The giant cat head is awesome. Watery Christina, you saw Pottery and the cat tag and had to pop in. Yes. I'm gonna find a picture of the cat Christmas tree that I made and share it here so y'all know what I'm talking about. Or it's on Instagram if anybody else wants to share it. Christina, you were crocheting a little bear, but right now you've got to get ready for therapy. Yes, well, thank you so much for rating. Thank you so much for stopping by. Let's see. On Instagram, yeah. Here, I'm going to show you this because it's awesome. Sorry, to sign in. Wait, this is from a couple years ago. Go call your mama. When was it? It was 2020, maybe. I think it was at least then. It's been since then. Here it is. All right, y'all. There it is. Enjoy. The greatness that is the cat Christmas tree. Also have a Santa hat for it. And you put Christmas lights in its eyes and it glows. Isn't it great? Isn't it great? Yes. It's those like, so it was like one of those Halloween cat costume things that I got on clearance for like $5 or something after Halloween, and but it's not really scary. Put a Santa hat on it. Daniel said he didn't know if I'd made something. He said he thought I'd made something scarier than clowns. You know, the best thing is when Minnie would climb inside of it and it would wiggle and move. And that's why I'm not allowed to do Christmas decorations. It stopped a few passersby. If I do it again, make sure it has a Santa hat, yes. I was looking and seeing what all we had for decorations and making sure the lights worked and all that. And the box that has the cat heads and the black Christmas tree. So there is the big ribbon bow, and there's a Santa hat. See if I can fix it. Put a little bit more clay right there. And try that again. It'll probably be a tiny bit off center, but it's close enough. So, what was it I was making? Oh, the tankards. It happens more with tankards because it's wide, and then I narrow it in. I had that happen on a couple of those, but it's just where the clay gets a little bit thin right there where I'm trying to pull it up, and sometimes water gets underneath the fold, and it just wants to come apart. Here we go. Gotta stretch a little bit. I think I've been standing funny. Well, hello, good evening. Yeah, welcome everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, depending on where you're at in the world. You know what? I don't feel like I'm not leaning against anything. Like I'm not in pain just standing here. Because nothing is, just touching my legs. If something was like, if I was leaning against something and it was like pressing against the bruises, that would be very, very bad. But Minnie was up here earlier, and I hear her. I hear her little jingly bell. And her chirping. So she's in here somewhere. And then I'm going to guess that Kiba is lying in a box of bubble wrap. There's a box of bubble wrap that has been like the object of contention that the cats have been fighting over. They'll lay in it together and then they'll fight over it, and then one of them will be in it. Hey, Greg. Yes, 'tis the season. But so have you. I see all your pictures of the farmer's market. Let's see, I think I've got time to make between 20 and 30 more. So again, that happened again. I gotta figure out what I'm doing. Because, like, Spook, you're right. This doesn't happen very often. Gotta figure exactly what I'm doing. So I'm gonna try to put this one back together too. Because the clay is pretty soft. Just gotta make sure that it's not too wet. Because when the clay is this soft, the water will make it slippery and not want to make a good attachment, which is one reason that it comes off. Whereas to drier pieces of clay, you add wet clay slip to attach them together. Just depends on how hydrated the clay is. Toasty Beans, thank you for the follow. Let's see if we can fix this one too. Just kind of pushing some of that clay down, and then we'll get some more from here on the bottom and push it up. There we go. And see how this section is. I may have to trim some of that off. It's going to be a little bit uneven. If I should find my sharp pointy tool, there we go. There we go. You can see where that seam was, where it broke off. There we go. Hey, Minnie. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Come here. Did y'all hear her? Come here. Hmm. Hmm. She says it's getting close to treat time, and it was her own fault that she missed treats yesterday. She went on an adventure. She stayed out all night. I couldn't find her. And her air tag said she was in the building. I just thought she was, hiding or had gone upstairs or somewhere. Or was asleep somewhere. Said she was in the building, so I just left it. But maybe apparently either it was wrong or she was on the roof or something. Because she was outside. I wonder if air tags work if you're even like on an airplane, like if you have one on your keys or something and you're on an airplane. I was thinking, how does it tell you? Does it tell you how far off the ground you are? Or does it just think you're moving really, really fast across the ground? So let's see if we can we have 30 now. Let's see if we can at least get to 50. Well, hello, Minnie. Y'all, you know how like flare and wide leg pants are back in style now? Well, I got myself a pair of wide leg pants because I've been looking at them and I like, remember wearing them as a teenager and loved, loved, loved wide leg pants. I was excited to see them come back in style. So I finally found a pair that I liked. Though I was like getting really mad because I was looking up different places that had, the wide leg jeans. And like, because one of the things I remember from being a teenager back in the 90s was that when all these, all the stylish pants that were made for teenagers, like, they didn't believe teenagers, especially girls, were tall. So, like, I could never find anything that fit. So I always, like, I would wear guys' pants because I could get an inseam, get big baggy jeans, inseam that could fit me. And so I'm like, yes, they're going to be women's cut pants. They're going to be like long enough because a lot of places have tall sizes now. But the what the way that you're supposed to wear these wide leg pants is ridiculous. Black Wolf Magic, hey, thank you for the resub. Yeah, good afternoon. What, you're supposed to wear them around your ankles? And I see that. I see. Okay, they don't get dirty. They don't drag the floor. But if I want to wear a pair of ankle pants, I can do what I did back then and just get regular pants because I'm tall. I want pants that drag the floor. And I found some. But like when I was looking up pants, I'm like, oh, this company has a tall size, yay. Okay, tall, pick tall size. Inseam 30 inches for tall. You're gonna charge me extra for a tall size pair of pants. It's only gonna be a 30-inch inseam. If I don't want to do that, I just go buy the generic regular pants. So my eye was twitching quite a bit. Oh, your mom wants a bigger socialist mug, but between sizes, like a 16 ounce. How about a travel mug? Travel mugs are 16 ounces. Your sister has a similar problem. She's 5'11", so she wears men's tall. Yeah, yeah. Because it's easier to find like men's tall sizes or inseams where they just assume all women are like the same height. You're short and fat, so you have the opposite problem. Yeah, I feel vindicated sometimes when I'll go to like a clearance section and it's like the petite clearance where it's all short things, and I'm like, you know what? Okay, I'll buy these for $5. I've got a new pair of capris, and roll them up. I was like, that's for all the short people who find a tall size and hem it, because that's what my mother does. My mother's 5'4", 5'5", and so she'll find a pair of pants too tall for her, and she'll hem them. Maybe too narrow. Okay, gotcha. Would she like something like the Mana mug? Since it's got a wider bottom, but it's like it can be 20 ounces, but it can also be less. That shape though, I'm wondering if she would like that shape. I've been asked by several people now for like a 16-ounce mug, and I'm trying to decide if it's worth making that as an option. But it probably wouldn't be any harder. I mean, we have the different shape mugs like the Mana, Health, and Stamina, so we may just offer it. Oh, hi, Minnie. Come on. Thank you for joining us. Make them biscuits. She's getting her winter floof. She may just be floofy. It's the result of all those treats. Yes, but wait, you have tankards too, don't you? Yeah, so it'd be like a smaller version of the tankard, just with a wider bottom. Yeah. Yeah, it might need to make a 16-ounce mug just as an option. And that won't be one that I make all the time, but it can be a made-to-order thing. Well, yeah, well that's what I'm saying. Like the mana mug shape is like a mini tankard. I have one. I thought I had one over here. Yeah. So this one I think is cracked, but like it's like that versus great big tankard versus like this is the 24-ounce tankard, so it's just smaller. Yeah, Wolfie. Yeah. All the handles are added after. You might be getting a new job, so you might be moving and taking all your mugs with you. Then your mom can't complain about you having too many mugs. Carrie, hello. Yeah, I had to make it a little bit taller. I am measuring these as I go because I have a guide set up on my camera so I can know how tall to make them all. Knitter Girl, hello. Good afternoon. There's 41. I bet I can do at least 9 more in 24 minutes. What do you think? I think it'll work. Got a bit of a later start today because we had some electrical work being done. Also the reason I didn't stream yesterday. We had our the box that controls both of the kilns. It started smoking while the kiln was on. It nearly caught on fire, so it's a good thing we were here to catch it. But had the electrician come out and they looked at it yesterday and came back and repaired it today. But yesterday was a very stressful day. And I spent a little bit of it outside with my fire extinguisher watching a smoking electrical box, waiting for it to stop smoking. Muhalo, that though it is terrifying, is what it is, terrifying. But they, it was a simple fix. They got it fixed and we're good. We had that, it's a switch, because I have 2 big kilns in one room, and it is, and I can't fire both of them at the same time. The power coming into the building only allows for one to be on at a time. And so I have a switch that switches the power from one to the other. That's what was smoking, and so I learned that apparently they have a lifetime. They have a limited amount of switches they can make. But we've had that one for 15 years, so I think that it's, or maybe 13, but it's had a good run. I'm glad it was an easy fix and something they could do quickly. Yeah. So now I've got the kiln running again. Again. I think I'm opening things up too wide. It's like the 3rd time I've done that today. So I don't need to open up the bottom as wide. I'm opening it up and then folding that little bit of clay over, and water is getting underneath it and ripping it apart. There we go. clay up from the sides and give that a little bit more strength. There we go. Mahalo, thank you. It's impressive I can make every piece by hand on a production scale, even with workarounds, yeah. Well, yeah, when something messes up like that, you never know if you can fix it until you try. And I think that's like I started trying to fix my mistakes when I was having like something I forget one night like I was everything I was doing was like having the same problem and I couldn't figure out why, so I just stopped step by step and tried to fix it every time until I got it right, until I figured out what was wrong. I was tired of losing pieces. Yes, and one of the ways that I'm keeping these all the same is by starting with the same amount of clay for each one. And then also I am measuring them as I go. I've got a guide set up in OBS, so I'm using my camera to measure them. All right, I need to make 3 more. I think we're gonna make it. Otter Scotch, hello. Let's turn this down a bit. It's going too fast. $30.89. Thank you for the resub. And welcome. Good afternoon. Otter Scotch stream has been pretty good. We have been getting a lot done. You know, I need to go back and find that section where Minnie stuck her head into the camera. I kind of want a clip of that, where Minnie just showed up. All right, we will do one more. And then I'm going to make some supper. With it starting to cool down, I think I've got stuff to make a couple of different types of soups. I think I've got stuff for either potato or tomato soup. Haven't yet made chili. Excellent choices for supper. Yeah, soup season is here. Soup and grilled cheese. Corn stew. All right, we have 50. You're having gumbo this weekend. That's something else I can add to the list I haven't made in a while. Gumbo or jambalaya. We made a like a low carb type jambalaya with with cauliflower. Now what does she want? Are we talking about mugs or food? Okay. Philsbury, hello. Happy Throws Day. How have I never thought of that? That's going to be my title for like every Thursday from now on. Where am I going over here? Let's see. So I am done. We've made 50 pieces, so not all that many, but some of those were travel mugs, and they take a little bit longer. So I did not bring my physical keyboard to TwitchCon, but I took pictures of it and had screenshots of it and gave it to they asked me to send them a lot of pictures, and so I sent them an email, and I've never heard back from them, but if I do, I will let you know. They loved it, or they said they did, you know. They could have just been nice and trying to get me to leave them alone. Texas Hula is on. Did I tell y'all that I got to meet Texas Hula in person? They came through Nashville, like to visit somebody, and they stopped by. So I don't know what he's working on right now. All right, fine. I'll do it this way. The keyboard is an artifact at this point. work? Yes, they worked. It's from an archaeological dig, yes, but hey, it works. It works. All right, guys. We're going to go see Texas Hula and say hello. Thank you so much for watching, and I should be back tomorrow, maybe doing more of the same, or if not, some glazing. So have a good evening, everybody, and I will see y'all later. Thank you so much for watching.